Let's continue September 1st turn. So we stopped at 1 p.m. or 1300 activation. Let's advance time and continue with pulling cheats from the pool. And the next one is 15th motorized corps. So let's see if the German player wants to use this activation right now. It will activate two leichte divisions, and it looks like it might be beneficial to do this now. The question is there because there is an option to postpone the activation and play it from hand in the later time. Right now, the 10th Army is under conflicting orders from Heeresgruppe Süd of the previous activation, as 10th Army was activated by this cheat, but it doesn't really matter because as Army command range is limited by this, 2 is subtracted from 12, so it's still 10, so way more than enough, and it doesn't and conflicting orders do not influence motorized corps HQ. So those two units can activate without a problem. They would get -2 DRM in combat, but it doesn't look like there's going to be any combat, as there is a void right now. So let's activate this formation, and we will place this on the corps logistics row. Let's see. There is no ZOX, there is no defense of any kind, so let's drive forward. Because we did not discuss what are goals for both players at this point, but for the first turn is pretty straightforward. Seek for Polish weak spots on the front and try to break anywhere that is possible. So first, third leichte, 1, 2, 3, we check this bridge. It is a 1, which means this bridge is intact. 4, 5, and 6, and the second leichte will envelop Częstochowa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we can move the motorized corps HQ. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This means that this unit, 3rd Leichte Division, is already out of corps command, which would create a supply problem in combat, but it doesn't create any problems for now for the command, as this unit is still in command range of 10th Army. Let's advance time. 17, and we have 19th Corps. And as there is no conflicting orders, I think it's a very good time to attack and try to break through. All right, let's attack. Should we attack this Pomorska Brigade? Yes, 20th Division will attack Pomorska Brigade, and we'll do this right away. So it's 2 to 1. We've got -1 for intact bridge, -1 for the forest, BLEX. Okay, let's not use any support, and the result is a 6 DDR. Pomorska will retreat 2 hexes without any loss because they retreat along the road, and the 20th Division will try to hold advance as we roll additional die, and it is a modified die, which means the roll was a 6 with -2 DRM. It was actually a 4. So now we need to roll 4 or less on 1d6 to hold this advance. We got a 3, which means 20th Division does not advance. As this is a motorized corps activation, there is no need to perform all movements first and then combats. Each unit can do freely in any combination as it wants. Well, of course, combat ends the activation of a unit, but you can always move and attack with one unit and then continue with another units of the same formation. What do we have here? 2-1. We have no sufficient movement points to move around. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. So let's attack straight on. 2-1. It is -2 for defensive line, -2 DRM. We've got +1 for the detachment marker, and that's all. Do we want to use any support? No, I don't think so. Let's roll. Whoa, what a roll! 6-5, and we've got a 6, which is EX/NE. EX is exchange, NE is no effect. In this case, we have to also make an additional die roll, and it has to be a lower 1d6 lower than combined attacker plus defender strength, which is a 3 at this point. So we need to roll 3 or less to get EX result. In case of a larger roll, it's going to be no effect, and we've got EX. So 9th Division takes a step loss, and the 2nd Motorized Division takes a step loss, which we will mark immediately on daily reports. No retreat or advance after combat. And the 3rd Panzer Division will try to take the bridge in Pruszcz-Bagienica. In this case, as there is no movement and combat segment, the same unit can be attacked multiple times. So let's first check this bridge, and it is intact. That's terrible news for Polish player. And of course we are going to attack through this bridge. This is removed. So we've got a regiment with a shock marker. That's 5-1, -1 for the bridge, -1 for the woods. It is still in supply of Motorized Corps HQ. We've got +1 for size difference and +2 for shock marker. So basically this regiment is as good as dead. Does the German player applies no support? Does the Polish player want to use this artillery? Let's see, can this save this unit? Nope, not really. And the roll is a 3-1, which means it's a 3. D1 R, which means this unit is destroyed. Let's go down by 1 with the shock marker, send this to destroyed box, and we add report for the Polish Pomorze Army. And of course the 3rd Panzer Division will advance through the bridge. As the last step of the activation, we will move the HQ. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Is it risky? No, not really. I don't think this 9th Division will be stupid enough to go west and try to take this HQ. We advance time. All conflicting orders are now off. Heeresgruppe Süd, which can be played only as Heeresgruppe Nord, as first HG cheat was already used, and it is a very good occasion to try to continue with advance for the 19th Corps. 3rd Army will still stand still and wait for the plan activation, which might not occur. It will be explained by really kind of a stalemate, which is kind of historically accurate on the Mława line. So let's start with the northern sector. This regiment is in command, so let's move 2. This regiment won't attack by itself Puck, and we will move 1, 2. Now let's move straight towards Wejherowo to be ready to attack. This regiment, forgot to add the DFR for this unit. This regiment will go south to try to threaten flank of the Pomorze Army. Let's check the bridge, which is a 2. Bridge is intact. Twentieth Division. Let's chase this Chojnice unit. We will attack. We don't need to mark this in any way. 2nd Division will move 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, actually this unit lost its full ZOK. It's now only weak ZOK, so it was technically 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, okay, I counted this, okay. And it will attack. It doesn't need any marker for this as well. It has sufficient movement points left to not be punished by no recon. And for the 3rd Panzer Division, we are definitely going deep. 1, 2, 3. Let's overrun this. This artillery. Artillery which is overrun is not destroyed. It is placed on the calendar track or turn track, if if you like this more, 2 turns later. So it's off map for 1 turn. So this would be that was 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Let's see what we can do. What else we can do? 1 movement point left. We cannot go back to this, and of course the Panzer unit, according to this symbol, can continue movement after entering zone of control. If we deploy Spearhead, it will endanger this unit on counterattack. So let's just stay like it is. 32nd Division, 1, 2 and 3, or better 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to secure flank of this advance. This division will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Mark this with X. 1, 2 and X, as its printed DFR is only a 3, and this Netze brigade has also DFR of 3, which means it is also marked with an X. And that's it for the movement. Let's perform attacks. We can deploy army artillery. Do we want to do this? Yes, because it's pretty late, and there's a very good chance that this army will not activate anymore. So we can definitely make some overkills. Let's deploy this to this hex, for example. And we will have range to this hex and to this hex without a problem. First, 2 to 1. And we are getting terrain DRM -1 and +2 for shock. This a regiment, so we've got +1 for size DRM, and we've got a danger of exchange. So let's use for this combat 1 shot, which will give DDR. In case of DDR, this unit will be dead, as it has no option to retreat without loss. So let's perform attack. 1, 5. And the result is a 1, which means this unit still survived. It has DFR of 2, so it can retreat only 1 hex, and it can stop in the defensive terrain without any further loss. 20th Division will advance after combat, and the 2nd Motorized will attack 9th Division. No terrain modifiers, +1 for detached regiment, +1 for disruption. We're gonna do an overkill. So 2 army artillery shifts, and should it be enough? It should be enough to kill this unit. 6 to D to R, so definitely this unit is dead. And we add report for Pomorze Army, as 1 step was lost. Do we want to advance? Yeah, why not? The result was so good that we could decide not to without any die roll. And that's it. This is the end of Heresgruppe Nord activation. We advance time. First advance Heresgruppe cheat 3. We are approaching evening. The next cheat is 16th Motorized Corps. And we will try to make another haul and definitely activate. So first, let's see if we have any conflicting orders. No. Let's begin with 4th Division, 4th Panzer Division. We're going to right away attack this damaged Wołyńska Cavalry Brigade. 5-1, -1 for terrain, +1 for disruption, and +2 for shock. But we have additional DRM, which is in case of night attack. So we have already we have sunset at 9 p.m. is going to be first -1 for the general DRM and -1 for all mobile units, for a total DRM of -2. It is still a good result, although on DDR this unit will survive. As it is very late already, let's try to make the overkill as well. Use shot for column DRM. The Polish player has an option to use combat train, armored train, and why not? Let's use it. And the result is a 3, which is DDR, so this unit survived against all odds. Let's retreat 1. We cannot stop in clear terrain, so we need to retreat 2. And the armored train has to retreat as well. Direction doesn't really matter, more matters that it has to be 2 hexes. So let's retreat to this hex as well, and the 4th Division will advance after combat. 1st Panzer Division will move 1 for the road, 1 for the ring IZOK. We do not pay for leaving this IZOK because there's a weak ZOK, so that's a 2. 3, 4, 5 for leaving, 6 for entering a new IZOK, and we stay here. Now 14th Division will attack. We can do this right away. So it's 2-1. We've got -1 for terrain, -1 for night attack, and +1 for size difference. We will use a shot from the army artillery, and we will use let's use 2 remaining divisional artillery units. 1, 2. DDR. There's a very good chance that this unit is going to die, and it is, because it is a DDR, and this unit basically it would retreat to Częstochowa, but there is a clear hex in IZOK, which means this unit is dead. Let's mark this in daily report. Oh, Army Kraków already has 3. Let's move the planned attack marker, and there should be another infantry unit which is right there, and we are going to attack as well with this unit, and it's going to be 1-1, -1 for size DRM. We will not use any support as there is none available right now. -1 for the knight and +1 for the size, and the Polish player will use armored train for this. If no tactical air support is used, trains are pretty safe from destruction. Let's roll. 1-6, and 1 is a double AL, which is interesting because this unit is now dead. First AL, and then for the effect of roll of lower than 1, it's additional AL. So we mark 2-step losses on the daily report for the 10th Army, and we have 2 more things going on. First is legendary battle for destroying a German division in combat, and additionally we got a morale boost which goes to 8. Oh yeah, so that's a kind of legendary area. And as the last step, we will move with the 16th Corps HQ. We cannot move here. Let's move 1, 2, 3, and that's it. We cannot move any further. This hex is unavailable because of Polish ZOK, and we don't have sufficient movement points to move to this hex. Activation is over, and let's go with the last activation of the day, which is no, not last, not yet. We've got a logistics check, which should be pretty easy at this point. Does this 3rd Panzer Division have a communication line with HQ? No, it does not. Which means it will get isolated marker. Which could be interesting target for Polish counterattacks if they have chance to occur. Those units are okay. Those units are okay. Okay, it looks fine for the rest of the front. Let's see if we haven't lost any. Oh, this should advance after combat. Let's see if we have not missed any Polish lost regiment. I think not. Okay. As logistics check does not advance time, we have another activation, which is Polish Navy, so still not over. For the Polish Navy, we don't have any mission for River Flotilla yet, but we have option to go and try to sail for Plan Rurka. I think it's a good moment because 2 Luftwaffe activations are already done. Let's go with another one, which is Polish coordination. So we've got kind of a Polish response. Now let's see which two armies in communication we can activate. Yeah, Pomorze army is interesting because we can kind of consolidate this isolation and make the German player harder to get there, but it's going to be effectively only one army. Łódź doesn't look really bad, but there are two gaps too. There are two gaps. One gap is not in very terrible condition right now, but this is really bad. On the other hand, it is very tempting to try to, because if this unit gets through this breach, the option to firmly isolate this Panzer division will go away. Let me think a little. It's only question of one division, and here we have multiple Panzer and Leichte divisions trying to do some trouble. So let's try to activate Army Kraków and it is not possible, or maybe ranges have to overlap. Both armies have now range of 11, as we don't have any conflicting orders. Conflicting orders do not influence this, only other changes like logistics damage. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, without any problem, those two armies can activate. So now we need to check communication. Let's roll, and it is a double. On a double, it is a fail. Activate one random army. So 1 to 3 is Łódź, 4 to 6 is a Kraków. Not this roll. So we've got a Kraków activation. Oh, that's bad, because I wanted to mainly activate Łódź army. So let's try to fill some gaps. There is a empty defensive hex. So let's man this hex with 23rd Division. And it will be a X. Grupa Warowna Śląsk. Let's push it east. 55th Division. I think it should have DFR of 2 already. I will check later if it should or not. Bielsko will stay as it is. 6th Division will stay as it is, as it still blocks this passage. Anyway, let's move only one hex with this division. There's not really much to be done to plug this hole. Okay, it's gonna cost us morale, but let's abandon Częstochowa. 7th Division will move out of Częstochowa. Is it in command range? Yes. This way or this way or this way? No, let's move this way. it will be easier to fight their way towards Kraków. Okay, without prolonging this, let's move also this unit to this hex. And with this activation, we are done with the activation phase. We have right now around 2 hours recording, so it looks like it's going to be without any problem under 3 hours per one turn. So my estimate is that the full Grand campaign will take around 190 to 100 hours, which is calculated by if you play 3 hours per one day, and it should be less. If you get really fluent with the rules, you know what you're doing, and of course you're not talking, you're not trying to think about not making any mistakes of any kind, it goes faster. Plus, I believe that it goes faster with the physical copy, where you can move physical counters around. It is really faster to do some stuff. So 2 hours is for me 2 hours plus 15 to 20 minutes. It's the estimated time per one turn. Right now, if you play 3 hours per turn, it's going to be, well, the campaign probably will not go further than September 30th, so 30 times 3, that's 90 hours of gameplay. So with this activation, we got to conclusion of the action phase. Let's open sequence of play. Optional logistics check. Logistics was played, which we can clearly see on the time track, so we don't add logistics to marker. Then we go to night activities. First, Polish staff relocation check. Not applicable yet. General staff does not relocate. Plan West advance, no way. Counter-offensive, no way. Daily reports. Let's check daily reports, starting with the Polish player. So first, Army Pomorze. We roll one die. 4 is nothing. We need to roll equal or less to get any report replacement points. Łódź, nothing, and Kraków, nothing. That's terrible. Where is hell? Germany. German armies. Let's first check 4th Army, nothing. 10th Army, we've got 1 replacement for 10th and 14th, and 1 replacement for 14th. So for the 10th Army, and we can replace 1 step in any unit. There are some guidelines to do this, because it should be a unit that was in a combat the previous turn, and we have no such unit, because the only unit that generated those 3 daily report daily report points was a division that has been destroyed. And there is option to forge daily report points for normal replacement points, but it does not apply right now for only 1 point. Let's find daily report just to make sure. Insufficient units for DRRs. If there are not enough units to receive DRRs, in example, due to destruction of units that would have qualified to receive them, unused DRR points are lost unless at least 3 are accumulated. Then they can be converted to standard replacement points. So this is very unlikely. Scenario, but it is in the rulebook, because guess what? It happened, and it had to be taken into account in the rulebook. And for the 14th Army, the step loss was... Oh, excuse me, there was a step loss on the map, which means probably, as there was a lost unit, it should be a 4 daily reports. I probably lost one in the process. So anyway, it can go to this 3rd Light Division. We do not need to check if it's in supply or in communication or in range, because it's kind of like a name suggests, evening report that well, reports that losses were not so bad. And 14th Army will be for the 28th. Let's continue. Legendary battles check. And as we tracked this, we've got 7 to check. Morale is pretty high right now, so there will be maximum of 2 morale that can be gained through those checks, but we will check all of them anyway. First, this one. It was a step loss for the 3rd Leichte, and it is real. In optional rules, we will have a special sheet that you can mark all of those legendary battles. This one, 1 no, 2 no, 3 no, and 4 yes. This legendary battle is real. Oop, not clone. Get back. Flip. And those 3 are deleted. Let's change those units. And defense of Warszawa, we checked already 5, 6, 7, so this will be all. 1 is real and the second one is not. So we've got 1 legendary defense of Sky over Warszawa. This will, in summary, give 2 morale points, which will get to maximum of 10. Next, Prussia restriction release. This is due to Polish units on the Prussian territory. Doesn't apply right now. Polish March losses. So let's roll on the Polish March losses table. As you can see, we have paragraph links in all tables on the player rates, so it is really easy to find those in the rulebook. First, 2d6, 3 and 4. 3 is Modlin Narew and 4 is Łódź. Let's see if we have any divisions that are divisions. This considers only divisions, so not regiments like in this case. We've got 1 division that is on DFR X, and this is the only division to receive a step loss, so it will suffer a step loss. And the second one is a Łódź. In Łódź we have no divisions with DFR X, as I can see, so March losses are not applied in this case. Then we've got pocket creation. No pockets yet. Refugees. No refugees were created. Remnants. Yeah, of course. I was supposed to play with the optional rule of remnants. And you know what? Let's fix this quickly. 1 division was destroyed in here, and if we go to optional rules, which should be right here, for the 9th division doesn't matter because it was D1R, but for the German unit it will matter. It was AL, as I remember. Remnants, Hex just eliminated. and retreats 1 hex not in ISOC towards parent HQ of the destroyed unit. Yes, so the German division that was destroyed, I think it was on this hex, as I recall, and this will create a remnant in this hex, and it will retreat 1 hex towards HQ. Now we can move this remnant, and we might one hex. We can move it 1 hex, not in ISOC, and we will move this unit. This will give an option to rebuild a unit on the hex with remnants instead of Army HQ, and it creates a kind of slowing hex for the enemy. Remnant is destroyed immediately if attacked without any die roll, or it can be overrun with +2 DRM cost. Then it is destroyed without any further effect. Right, so we moved remnants. City clearing. Yes, we have some cities to be cleared, and the first one is Katowice. And in case of a major city, we need at least 2 steps of German units or 1 SS step. It is the case in here, so we're going to place clearing 1. I'll tell you in a minute why it is important. Cieszyn, in case which is a minor city, in case of a minor city, we need only 1 step, and we place a clearing 1. In case of major cities, we will need to perform 2 clearings. In case of minor cities, only 1. So at the end of the next turn, if this unit stays there, 1 step of any German unit, it will be cleared. There is 1 exception on the map, and it concerns Gdańsk and Sopot. By the way, we should mark those with North control marker. Those 2 units do not need clearing operations. They are simply controlled the moment the German unit enters the hex. And why do we need this clearing? Because one of victory conditions for the campaign, which we will discuss later, is to control all minor and major cities. One possible, of course, victory condition is to control all major and minor cities hexes on the western Poland territory, which means also Katowice, or for example Poznań or Gdynia. All of those cities, if all of those cities are under German control, not occupied but controlled, which means cleared in case of cities, and there is a Soviet attack, it is already a win. Right, let's continue. Knight movements. German player first, each step in sequence. So first, armored divisions can detach spearheads. No matter the state of a division. So let's begin with a 3rd Panzer Division. We did not detach spearhead then, we will not now. In this case, leichte divisions count as Panzer divisions as well. I will not use hotkey to not stop, to avoid stop recording. We will get spearhead here. We will definitely get a spearhead in here and in here. Third Leichter. We might have option to... Yes, if we send the spearhead. I don't want to analyze this step by step right now, but eyeballing, I think if the spearhead will be deployed here, it will block this 7th infantry division. Third Leichter, yeah, it will deploy it. It will deploy spearhead because why not? There might be a better way to do this, but I will do this like this. 5th division will not deploy spearhead to avoid being attacked, and there is no need to place spearheads in this sector. Then cavalry brigades can move 1 hex, ignoring any ezocs. Starting with the German player, there's only 1 brigade, which doesn't really matter. In case of Polish units, we will stay as they are. We will move Pomorska 1 hex south. Then we have Podolska and Wielkopolska. Let's move Podolska a little east. Wileńska will go to Piotrków. Wołyńska will run towards these woods to try to be safe. This train does not retreat yet because it will at the moment where it is alone in Izok and not adjacent to a friendly unit. It is adjacent now, so it doesn't have to retreat right away. Krakowska is, as I remember, destroyed, correct? Yeah, it is destroyed. Okay, so that's it for cavalry movements. Then infantry divisions with printed DFR of 4 or not marked X or 3 or 3 printed can move 1 hex for no than 3 movement points cost. And the step loss, which is right now, if you read this, the step loss does not apply for the Polish player. So first, the German player. And the German player will have no penalty of any kind because there is still a plan 2 marker. So again, let's jump in here and let's see what we can do. This unit can move here. Here we have DFR 3, so let's move. It's going to be cost 1, 2, 3. This one is not a division, so it cannot move. This one will move 1, 2, 3. Got this division. We can take Wieluń because it's 1 for the road, 1 for the town, and 1 for Izok. So we will take control over Wieluń. That's fine. This unit will approach Częstochowa. Those 2 units will continue this way. Actually, one will go this way. right here we cannot move here because we don't. Oh, we can. It's 3. It's 3, and in case of a ISOC cost for living, ISOC, the cost of entering and leaving ISOC, all units except armored have to end movement. Where was it? Disregard +1 MP cost for leaving ISOC when moving into the hex, which means this division can move to this hex. This we will leave as it is. We will move with... Oh, nope. That's a 4 DFR with X, so this one cannot move. And I think we're done with the German player. Now the Polish player does the same. So there's an optional... oh, we forgot about Podlaska and Suwalska brigades. There's an additional option to, and I think I will write this in optional rules, that instead of doing all of this one side then another side, it might be a better idea to simply do this alternating moves. So for example, 5 divisions one player, 5 divisions second player. This could be interesting. 27 division. Of course, we're going to the position to attack this isolated Panzer division. We will move this unit to this hex. We forgot about this 14th division. I forgot about this 14th division. Anyway, let's leave it for now. Yes, we're gonna approach Lutów to block this first Leichter. This unit will go here, this unit will go here. This unit failed to finish its loading. This unit is effectively blocked. And Grupa Warowna Śląsk will march 1 hex this way. 55th will stay in place for now. Right, let's continue. Now we have motorized Corps HQ movement for HQs that has not been activated in the action phase. Let's recall our action phase. All 3 motorized formations that are on the map have activated, and we've got rail transports. So there's not very much really for the Polish player. Mainly armored trains. Let's begin with armored. Oh no, let's do this by areas. So first, pierwszy marszałek, as rail infrastructure is damaged, we have to make a roll before every armored train move. This one gets 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's have defend Bielsko. This train will get 3. If we want to get to this sector, we need to go through Tarnów. That's very much too far. 1, 2, 3. For transport trains, we've got a 6 movement points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we will be able to unload in this hex. This train, 3 hexes, so let's make it 2. I think it's time to evacuate this train. Let's roll, and it's a 1. To Działoszyn. Poznańczyk will stay in place. Danuta train, which is right here. Let's roll a die. It is a 3. We're definitely evacuating this train towards Bydgoszcz. Sosnkowski got a 6, so it will go to Mława sector. And we failed to load this division. I think that's all for the trains. Let's continue. Soviet fronts doesn't apply. Clean up. First, DFR markers. We use our wizard button. Then shock markers. We have how many? We have 3 for now. If I don't find them right away, I will. And by the way, going through the map, we are returning also army artillery to ACDs, refresh divisional artillery, and return air units. So let's return this one. One shock was right here. We had artillery somewhere here. Yeah, it is right there. Return to CD. And for the artillery, we have only 1 left from the 3rd Army. And for Polish armies, we have deployed. Pomorze is down, only Modlin, which was deployed as a part of a setup. There's our second shock, and yeah, there it is. Cleanup is, I think, done. Then rotate, use tank battalions. No, not one was used. Automatic repair bridge doesn't apply. HQ command. Reorganizations. We have no emergency side HQs. We don't really have any options to. Wait. We have option to relocate Prusy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can go to Rawa Mazowiecka. Army Łódź. Yes, we can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can move Army Łódź to this hex. We can move Poznań Army 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to Mogilno. By the way, there should be a Polish airbase, which I will fix right away. Airbase. Bang, done. It's good to find little mistakes like this. Then Corps and Reserve Unit command. We do not change any subordinations. We don't have really independent units for now. Many, well, not independent, but reserve units. Delayed command doesn't apply. Counteroffensive not. Chaos in SHQ doesn't apply. Radio broadcast, a lower level of Westerplatte, which means Westerplatte is under attack. It has ammunition and supplies for now 7 days. Then we bombard it with Schleswig-Holstein. It is a 4, so no effect. And then if Radio Warszawa is operational, rise morale doesn't really matter because morale is right now on the maximum possible level. Danzig Bay. Polish fleet is trying to perform Plan Rurka mission. Let's do this. So we take a bay mine laying table and roll 1 die. And the roll is a 1. No success. And then we go to Warszawa reconstruction, lower Warszawa destruction level by 1. It would add morale, but morale cannot be higher than 10. Destruction level, Radio Warszawa, encircled, mandatory attack doesn't apply. And we remove all cheats, place time counter on 500, move calendar to the next calendar. We will do this in the moment, and we have now important stuff, which is remove German Fall Vice. We did this already, and defensive line markers. And now let's see how the Polish defense performed. Let's check all of the defensive line markers. Basically, those defensive lines have to be physically occupied by Polish units to not create a morale loss. So Ostrołęka is fine, Różan is fine, Mława is okay. In this sector we have a Rytel line, which is not fine, which drops morale by 1. Then we have Koronowo line, which is fine, Bydgoszcz is fine, Kalisz Bridgehead is okay, Częstochowa is not okay, morale down by 1. So as you can see, all of those morale gains do not really matter, because this is the last step of the day. So it was okay, but as you can see, not really. And I already dropped the morale for the southern line. Węgierska Górka is fine, Nowy Targ is fine. I think that's all defensive lines. Yes. So now let's gather all of the cheats and place them back into the cheat pool. Return to the pool. Time goes back to 5 AM. Plan Rurka wasn't success, and we've got a victory check. Of course, there is no victory of any side. And with this last step, we got to the end of the September 1st turn. We move the calendar marker 1 space to the next space, and as I told you, we're going to make evening situational report just to gather up what happened during this turn, and we're going to go by one through German army sectors. So on the sector of the Third Army, Mława sector is almost intact, as well as River Osa line, which is actually a very historical outcome. On the coast, Gdynia, well, the Fourth Army did not make much progress. On the corridor, as we can see, one major breakthrough, but still manageable, but it may end if this advance goes to Grudziądz. It might close this Pomorska brigade in the pocket along with those two regiments. 8th Army sector, minor territorial gains. 10th Army, we have one gap right here, and the second huge gap just below Częstochowa. which might be able to strike really deep in the upcoming hours of the next day. And on the 14th Army sector, Silesia main cities are still under Polish control, and the Polish defense still is there. I think there was a defensive marker that I did not, for which I did not subtracted morale. It should be subtracted, correct? Yes. Okay, we're done with the September 1st. See you in the September 2nd turn.